Folks, the roadsides are in full panic mode once again. Reuters has this story out today. U.S. networks face dilemma over whether to air Trump's election security speech. Oh, what a dilemma. The President of the United States wants to address the nation in prime time about keeping our elections free and fair. Something every American ought to care about, right? But the big three, ABC, CBS, NBC, and their cable cousins like CNN are sweating bullets. You know why? Because Donald Trump is going to drop some real talk on election integrity. He's talking voting machines, foreign interference, maybe even that China stuff from 2020 that they spent years calling a conspiracy theory. And the left knows if he lays it out with facts, their whole narrative crumbles like a house of cards in a hurricane. So what are they going to do? These so-called guardians of democracy, they're weighing whether to even carry it live. Historically, they air presidential addresses because, the public has a right to hear from the leader of the free world. But not this time. Not when it might make their precious 2020 most secure election ever fairy tale look like the fiction it always was. AOC is out there clucking already. Folks, she's telling the networks they have an ethical obligation not to air if it's not rooted in evidence and fact. Ethical obligation from the same crowd that spent 4 years pushing Russia collusion hoaxes, Hunter's laptop as disinformation, and every other lie under the sun. Give me a break. These people wouldn't know evidence if it bit them in the behind. They're terrified Trump might actually show the country what's been going on with our sacred voting process, especially with the midterms coming up. Now, here's how it's going to play out. I can predict this with 99.9% accuracy because I've watched these clowns for years. They won't give it a full, respectful airing like they would for, say, a Democrat reading a phone book. No way. If they carry it at all, watch what happens. They'll run it in a little box in the corner of the screen while some anchor yaps over it, or they'll slap on some somber background music like those dramatic strings they use for tragedy reports to subconsciously tell you this is scary, dangerous stuff. Viewers, we're showing you this, but please don't believe a word. And then the second it's over, instant fact check panels, they'll bring out the same so-called experts that got everything wrong in 2020. Trump says this is about Dominion machines, but back in 2020, we reported it was all secure. Yeah, the same reporting that dismissed concerns as baseless while half the country smell the rat. They'll dredge up old clips, interview never-Trumpers, and spin it as divisive and undermining democracy. Now, democracy to them means only one side gets to speak. The rest of us shut up and accept what big media decrees. This is the same playbook, folks. Remember when Trump gave speeches before, they'd cut away, talked over him, or platform critics in real time? Now Fox might carry it straight, bless their hearts, but the rest, they're in a bind because this administration is already putting pressure on them with FCC looks and antitrust stuff. They don't want to anger the White House, but they can't stand the thought of letting Americans hear the unfiltered truth about election security either. Without fair elections, we don't have a country. Trump's exactly right about that. My friends, this isn't journalism. It's damage control. The American people deserve to hear their president on something this vital. Tune out the filter, seek out the full speech yourself on platforms that actually believe in free speech. The left's dilemma isn't about protecting us from misinformation. It's about protecting their power from the truth. This is where we are today in America. We'll be back, and we hope you will too.